What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap Up. Peace out! What's up, everybody? This is Jason.
Saturday. Welcome to the Illuminerdi's The Ranger Wrap-Up. We got a full house today. We got the whole crew in today. We hope you guys are having a good time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on your Saturday. You could be anywhere else in the world today, but you are here with us.
And we appreciate it.
Truly do. So let's go down the list who we got today. We got Heirloom coming to us from across the pond. How are you doing today?
I am doing fine. How about you?
Doing well.
How's everyone doing?
Doing good. We got Daniel. Daniel hit us with those AKAs.
Oh, well, I've got it, baby, so I'm ready to do it. Holla at your boy, it's me, that's right, the BSG, a.k.a. the Purveyor Petty, a.k.a. Controversial Conversationalist, a.k.a. the Intergalactic Instigator, a.k.a. Mr. No Days Off, a.k.a. Kurt Hustle, a.k.a. Leonardo No Caprio.
Oh, he's got him on the phone. I was like, how does he remember
Chuck
all these?
Luggage, that's right, a.k.a. Chuck Luggage, meaning a.k.a. Never Catch a Case, a.k.a. Danny Digital, a.k.a. the Bicon. That's right.
And of course,
Set them all.
the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Illuminerdi. What is going on, Joe?
Yo, what's going on, guys? I wouldn't say so much legend. Maybe myth.
Myth.
Definitely myth. I don't know about legend. But, yo, we're here this Saturday talking about Power Rangers. We were off last week, but we were, right?
No, we weren't.
We weren't?
I don't think
No,
were
we're
here.
here.
Yeah.
Was I on the show?
You weren't on the show.
Okay,
No, you
then
weren't.
I wasn't here last week. The rest of you were. There you go. That makes more sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All these days are just running together for you, I guess, huh?
They really are. They really are running together for
Yeah.
me.
What'd you do? You did the Army of the Dead junket last week, right?
Man, when did I actually, I want to say I did Army of the Dead junket 2 weeks ago.
I tried watching that last night, but I was really sleepy. And, Zack Snyder's got some of those long, dragged out,
Look,
scenes.
I don't think so in this movie. I think this movie's a lot different. It's a lot more fun. I like this movie a lot. I mean, I like Zack Snyder in general, though.
It doesn't really seem like a Zack Snyder movie, but that's what makes it cool.
Yeah.
At the same time,
I need to finish it,
I
though.
was like, man,
I need to
okay,
finish it, though.
he can
But
he can shoot something a little bit different, and he did. And I was like, I like it.
he really doesn't like that one actor, though. Cassidy, what was his name? He played Jimmy Olsen in
Oh yeah.
He really does not like that actor. He just wants to just keep killing him off, I guess. I don't know.
Yo, so this is going to be a different style of episode. Today, we are really just doing a Power Ranger kind of like conversation. We want you guys in the chat to be included. Obviously, we have the super chat feature that helps support the show. We're just going to be talking about Power Rangers. I mean, usually we have a bit of news, and I'm sure that there's small pockets of news that we're going to go over and talk about, but we're just going to talk about our the show in general.
Let me start off with a topic here, because I know we got Heirloom here, and he has the Super Sentai show going. What's the options now for fans that want to watch Super Sentai?
There is. We can't say there is no options. Maybe a website of a cat. I don't know. There are probably options that there are out there. But is that breaking TOS of YouTube to say, hey, go to this website?
There has to be something.
There are possible ways. I think that they're still dubbing it, but they're very keeping on the down low, because if Toei if they find out, boom, like another cease and desist letter gets sent out to them, which would be bad. But there are ways. I think if you look on Twitter, I think people do kind of post clips, so it's kind of easy enough to figure it all out.
Is there an existence of a Power Rangers Toku like dark web?
If there is, I have not found it. If there is, I kind of want to find it now.
Wait, a Power Rangers Toku Dark Web? Are you talking like where we can find all the subs and dubs and
Subs
like?
and dubs, and then just like all everything that we don't get from Super Sentai or Power Rangers. Just oh, you can order like these props that I'm selling from the back of my truck or whatever. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't-
isn't that essentially Facebook? I feel like some of those
Yeah.
Facebook groups are essentially that, aren't they?
True. I mean, whenever I go to the Facebook groups, it's all I hate Tommy, da da da, I hate Tommy. It's like, how many freaking posts can we have about this? Like, dude, it's not 1993 anymore. What's going on?
See that.
It's every
Hey,
day.
do you think that that's a problem that Power Rangers really hasn't really built another like Tommy essentially kind of character
Yeah.
in their franchise?
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
so.
It brings up the conversation like, I don't remember if we were talking about it on this show, but the downfall of. Well, I mean, some people say there isn't no downfall, but the downfall of how WWE handled their OG superstars and their new superstars, where they kept leaning into the old superstars to the point where some of the new up and comers kind of felt kind of like they felt like the brand wasn't helping them. That's why they moved to different shows. That I thought about that with basketball, with the NBA. Like once LeBron and KD and all them leave, like there's not really going to be that one goat conversation, and that could be the same thing with Power Rangers. Like, we're leaning too much onto the OGs that we're not really giving the new guys any chance to kind of shine or be that beacon for Power Ranger fans going forward.
Well, I agree with what you're saying, Jezza. The only thing is, and I felt the same way about the NBA, except I was like more the Michael Jordan era. I felt like when Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley and all these guys left, then who takes over? But then you had Kobe Bryant and all these other guys. And I understand the recycling mentality of basketball, but even in WWE, I understand that too. But Power Rangers is a little bit different, mainly because you have the franchise. It's like, listen, we have to kind of go back to the OGs. That's what's the most recognizable thing out there. But then we have the fans, the pocket of fans, really us, that are not just us, but the fans as a whole, that are really championing these other seasons like Time Force and SPD and all these other seasons. So it's at a mix here. So I do think that I think that whatever Power Rangers is going to do going forward, though, I think that they'll get there.
Did we lose you, or is that just me?
I don't know. I hear that too. But I think that we've kind of seen those characters have a little bit of a resurgence. Now, or new characters have a little bit of a resurgence. Somebody like the Ranger Slayer, right? The Ranger Slayer got really popular. A lot of people are liking the Omega Rangers. I'm noticing that a lot of people are liking these Boom Studios characters really a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that's one highlight for the brand is them. For sure.
But
then-
is it strong enough as a highlight for them to be able to have the quote unquote Tommy effect? Like that's the thing, because the Tommy effect it's so strong. Fans are just they know what they know, and they love what they know. And the thing is, it's hard for them to separate from what they've been attached to for so long. I mean, there are people that now are having Tommy fatigue, but yet who do they expect to see at some like a reunion episode or something like that? They still expect Tommy. They still expect the story, even though they're like, "Oh, I'm so tired of it," but they still want and anticipate Tommy. So the thing is, we have to be able to separate that and just start to big up other people, and not use Tommy as much. And that's the thing. He makes himself available as an actor, and he loves the product. So it's kind of like it's hard for people to say no. I don't know if
Daniel,
it's not me. I don't.
oh, it's not.
No.
Wait, what are you guys hearing?
It's a lot of static, a lot of crazy static going on.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh, look at that. We already got a super chat, guys. Based on what you know, will the new movie still be in the same universe as the show? I can answer that because we already reported that. So, based on what we know currently, well,
Get
Man,
the black book. Get the
there's a lot
black book.
I do want to say. All right, so
Get the
I'll
book,
just say
get
this.
the book, get the book.
Based on what we know currently, they've already announced that Power Rangers has their own kind of like multiverse, right? We already know this. But based on what we know is that the new movie will represent Power Rangers in a very different way, but it will tie to the television series. So that's what I do know currently. Again though, when we reported that was literally almost a year ago, and obviously scripts change. But we're reporting on what's the most known thing out there. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That makes sense. I think that's a good answer.
You know what? Let's really shake up this conversation today. Any kind of super chat question, we can't shy away from. We have to give the legit answer to. Because I feel that, like, one thing that I've noticed, especially with us in the Power Ranger community, and this is another thing too, I love everybody that's making content in the community because it's pretty cool watching other people's content, like Heirlooms and like Ranger Command Power Hour. Not just my friends either. Some people out there that are just doing great stuff in Ranger community. I like all the fan films, but one thing is we always got a bad rap on was that story we dropped. And even now, even as we're seeing those like seeds really starting to come to fruition, I think that let's not shy away from anything, and we'll answer anything. If you guys super chat us, we'll answer anything like head on. But this is really just us talking about the show. Heirloom, anything in the fandom that you kind of want to address?
I don't know. That's quite hard because I see a lot more of like the Tommy stuff. And I always kind of feel like with Tommy, I think it's also Bandai's fault at the same point, because when they would go back to like the OG stuff, it was always they focused more on Tommy. Like obviously he sells, and that was the main thing, but I think like they just kind of emphasized it quite a bit. I think Saban always brought him back, and that was they never gave anyone like any kind of like screen time. Now I reckon that say if Dino Fury did have people coming back in, if they had Walter or David come in, I think that would have a more of an impact than anything that that JDF could be, and even Austin. And I think now that they utilize, because Austin wasn't done very well, I think in Beast Morphers, it was more kind of like you don't know if he was just there for the money or if they didn't really write him that well, if they couldn't be bothered. But I think that if you had Dino Fury, you had any Ranger that came in, a major big impact than anything out there, I think. And also, goddamn Tommy.
See, I agree with you actually, Heirloom. I think that I think that there was this this Tommy being the Power Ranger really from the inception of the show, really until even to this day. It's highly debated him being the greatest Ranger of all time, and it's argued to say that he's not. But at the same time, I agree that having somebody like David come back, because David had a really long, like the second longest run on the show, or was it like one of the longest runs on the show? I think Johnny had the second longest run, but it was one of the longest runs on the show. And I think that would make a bigger impact also. Same thing with Walter. I know Walter came back for Forever Red, or he voiced one of the generals in that show. But how cool would it be to see Walter come back? Also, did you guys see Simu Liu's Power Ranger post earlier this week when he was talking about how he can quote? I'm gonna test that at the junket. I think I'm gonna try to see if I can get him to do some Forever Red lines.
that would be killer, man. That'd be killer. That'd be so much fun.
I think I'm gonna say starting off, I'm gonna say something to the effect of like, we were beginning to think you wouldn't show up at all, or something like that.
Yeah.
Immediately, like, gets it.
Or ask him who his favorite Red Ranger is, I guess. Let's see who he says. Let's definitely see who he says.
That one's gonna be coming up soon. Daniel, any what Power Ranger things do you want to talk about today?
Really, there isn't any big news that we haven't already discussed. Honestly, it's more of, oh hey, fan film stuff is happening right now.
Your boy Ninja is coming
like
though.
That. Yeah, that's what I saw.
That's
I saw.
I don't know if you guys, is it going to be Lightning Collection or it's going to be one of those flippy head things?
It's a flip head.
It's a flip.
Yeah.
Why is Ninja a flip head? He has
two heads.
No, one head. That's
yeah, two.
Leave it as that.
Randomly.
One way we all remember and recognize.
This is why, Daniel. This is why I watch this. It is originally a flip head, bro. Right there. See? It's a flip head. He's a.
Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it.
You're not a fan of Ninjor, man. Ninjor's great.
No, not the flip
Oh,
head
man.
thing. I'm a fan of Ninjor. I'm a fan of Ninjor. Like, I love Ninjor. Hey, you know what? I love Ninjor. I also love the Henshin Bros, and I'm trying to bring that back. All right.
Henshin.
So let's not forget that. That's right. But so when it comes to Ninjor, don't forget that I love him to death. You know, I'm not gonna do the voice right now, but you know,
The original toy was great, though. I love the original toy and what they did with it. There was a weird. I don't know if you guys remember. I saw it like at some conventions. There was a weird like Ninja Storm version of Ninjor that I have no idea what the correlation was.
Oh, I think it was just to sell toys.
I thought that the Ninja Storm. Oh, you mean did this come out officially?
Yeah, it was a red version of him completely.
Oh.
Let me find it. Let me find an image of it. Let me see.
See, if Ninja came out in a Lightning collection, I'd want one of those big packs that comes with a vase, so you can put them in.
yes,
Yes, best thing.
yes.
Heirloom, if the packaging was the base, that would be pretty sick.
Oh, that would be like literally Hasbro needs to get on that. Oh, it'd be the best thing.
That would be such a cool like San Diego Comic Con. Like the packaging is the Ninjor base, and he comes in there. That would be flipping amazing.
That would be great.
And no window display. Literally, you have to look at the top of it to see him in there.
Right.
Yes.
That would be quite awesome. Look, the Lightning Collection, though, I'm really. Have any of you guys found the Wave 9?
Here, Joe. Do you see it on the screen?
No.
On Skype.
No, because I don't see a picture of you. I just see Heirloom and Dan.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. I'll bring it up. But it's on the screen. Where? You really don't see a picture of me?
No, I see you making a funny face, and then I see Daniel.
Okay.
And
all right, go on. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we see your still shot avatar, but we don't see you.
Yeah, but obviously you're on the live show, so
there it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was for. I have no idea what it was for, but I just saw that like
It was for a mistake. That's what it was for. It was for
it's kind of like with the with Power Rangers in Space. They had a headless Titanus or something. I can't remember that toy.
Headless Titanus?
It was like Titanus. It was the body of Titanus, but for Power Rangers in Space. I don't know what that was. I have no idea what that was.
Okay, so look, let's do some of these questions that are in the chat. Sam says,
that is not Ninjor. No. That is not Ninjor.
I know what's happening in the 30th anniversary. The question is, do we know anything about what's happening in the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers? Okay, so, yeah, I mean, I have some idea of what could be happening.
Hey, you said you can't back away. Oh, yeah, okay.
I kind of back away from this. That wasn't a super chat, so don't try to trick me here. Listen, so I know for a fact I've talked to at least one of you guys about this. I don't know yeah, it was you. Okay, it was you. If the two of you, Daniel or Heirloom, had to guess what could be cooking up for the 30th anniversary, what do you think it could be? And by the way, let me just say, everything that I heard was I don't want to say it's extremely
early stages, maybe, or
early stages, early development. We'll go with that.
I don't know. I'm guessing animated series would be one that pops in. Or what I would love is the Sentai Strongest Battle, where you just have all the Rangers going to town on each other.
That would be great. It'd be a great way to do it, even if it was like the 6th episode thing that they did for Super Sentai. That'd be freaking great. I mean, you don't have to pay all these, like, you could bring in, like, so many people, maybe shoot it in L.A., since the majority of the Rangers are in L.A. That'd be so cool,
Oh, boy. But I
mean you shoot in L.A., you got to go to that SAG bracket, though. But
yeah, exactly. I was like,
Yeah.
Well, if they did shoot in L.A. and go for the SAG bracket, that means they could get David Yost. They could get Walter. They could probably even get Amy Jo Johnson.
Whoa.
If they want to pay.
They don't want to pay Amy Jo.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. Is David Yost, is he SAG?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. He talked about it on an interview where it was like a Q&A thing. And fans asked about him coming back to Power Rangers. He's like, well, I mean, if they are willing to work with SAG, which I don't understand. I think they are. But if they
Yeah.
are, I'd be willing. That's what he said.
Well, then let me ask you guys another question about that then, because wasn't he just announced for somebody's fan film though? And does that mean that fan film is SAG now?
Oh,
It doesn't
Collins,
have
right?
to be. He actually, when the thing is, when you are SAG, you can choose to take indie stuff that isn't SAG.
Actually,
right?
You have to get a voucher to do that, but it has
Yeah.
But it has to be SAG minimum requirements.
Oh shoot! So that means they have to meet a particular quote.
My question here is if he's willing to return to Power Rangers for SAG, I mean, we have to assume either this fan film is SAG or what?
Or I mean,
I could ask. Want me to message somebody right now if it's SAG?
I mean, we could find. I mean, it'd be worth kind of finding out, right?
Oh, just give me.
Maybe he's coming back as Yost David.
Well,
it's his twin brother.
How great would
he
that?
He had the mustache.
Yeah. Just a monocle as well.
Hello, everyone.
We do have more questions here in the chat, though. What about a TV show after Dino Fury? Yeah, I'm.
That's a strong possibility.
Yeah, it's a strong possibility, but it's a stronger possibility of what Heirloom said, being an animated series. Will Dino Fury air on Netflix June 15th?
Will it air on Netflix June 15th?
Yeah,
possibly.
Yes. Maybe. I read somewhere that they're gonna start putting the first 8 episodes very soon, but I don't know if it's gonna air on Netflix. But I heard they're putting it on Netflix, which is cool. Which is cool.
Should be a lot of fun. Do we have more of these? Let's see more of these chat features. So look, we do have the super chat feature. I did say we won't shy away from questions on super chat, but I can shy away from anything else. Do you know if they're looking for anybody for the 2023 movie? No, and I can tell you I know that they're obviously going to be casting roles eventually, but I can tell you they're not looking for specific people currently right now because they haven't even settled on a final draft of this script yet. And I know things have been changing, at least storyline wise, and it's continued to change within that movie. So we'll see what happens. I think that they have a good blueprint of where they want the movie to go. But again, I've said this in past shows, and I'll say this again. Jonathan Entwistle, I'll be shocked if that dude stays on to really produce Power Rangers, because I know that he has a couple other projects in between, and I know that next year, or 2023 is the 30th anniversary. So yes, that's a lot of time, but I'm not sure. I'm not feeling super confident that he's going to stick around here.
It's a lot of time, but the thing is, there hasn't been a lot of presence from him. There hasn't been a lot of action or anything from him. So it's kind of like, I wonder, just like you said, if he's even still with them as a project, or if he's already like, yeah, well, we moved on and that's it. I wonder, because
he's
nothing being
he's
said.
still on board. He's still on board. I know for a fact he's still on board, and I know for a fact they're currently writing the script based on the parameters he's still set. So I know that he's still involved in this project. My guess is that maybe there's a little bit of I don't want to say, maybe they're just refining this script and stalling a little bit of time so to clear him for his other projects that he's on. But we shall see soon.
I think all their resources at Hasbro are more. They're putting more effort into finishing and starting the next Transformers film than anything. I think they just wrapped up G.I. Joe, so they're moving on to Transformers. And once that gets rolling, filming gets rolling, they got they locked down their director and all their casting. I think that's when we'll hear news about Power Rangers.
Yeah. Well, I've got a question, and this just has to deal with the last Power Ranger film that came out. Why is it not considered like the best Power Ranger kind of thing that's come out? I just rewatched it, and
me too.
Like the first 10 or 15 minutes was really, really good. The scene with Jason in the car, how they tried to make it a one shot, and the camera keeps going around, and you're seeing all the action happen, and then just like Zordon and Rita, that whole thing, setting that story up, and her losing the coin, and just what was wrong with that movie?
It just didn't perform well. Boss Baby killed it,
Well,
yeah, that's the only thing. But
weren't some Power Ranger traditionalist like really not happy with that that iteration of the movie, or am I mistaken?
That's what I heard, and I don't understand why. It was good.
I think it was more the fact is that you get halfway into the film and they've not morphed, and then when you get Billy morphing for the first time, it's still like near the kind of beginning-ish, and then it's like, oh wait, we've got 10 minutes to fill the rest of the film. Let's then make them turn them into Power Rangers, and then they backhand Rita into space. I'm like, what? But you also have like the director or something. He came out and he was just like, no, we didn't want a Megazord, and it's like, but that's the most important part of Power Rangers. It's a big key element.
Oh, that's
Um, yeah, and then it was just like he didn't want he didn't. It's the same. I hate. I'm very very sorry, but he's basically the same guy that went for the Dragon Ball Evolution. I was just like, I just wanted a film under my name, and that was it. And I was just like, oh.
Well,
So,
see, but the thing is, honestly, I guess I also didn't want the Megazord.
I didn't like it.
I mean, it didn't look good.
Wait,
So I was already okay with it not being in the film. When you really saw them, you're like, oh, the Megazords, they could be a little bit better.
I didn't want them in the film either.
See, I'm just look, hot take, man, hot take.
Listen,
I did not want them in the film. I wanted to see so much fighting and just going for it. That's what I really, really wanted. The Zords, I mean, I don't even like them in the show. I mean, I don't hate them, but I don't really like them in the show.
But I also understand that people like certain people are just mech fans, and I completely get that. I understand why, and I understand the trope how it is in Tokusatsu and Super Sentai. I completely get it, and I understand that love of it. It's just not really my thing. And to tell you the truth, like look, I didn't really grow up a Transformers fan. Like I was more into G.I. Joe. I was more into the characters rather than the robots. You know what I mean? So that's my personal reason. Like even to this day, these guys know. Most everybody knows. I'm not a Zord guy. Like I'm just not. But I do like the direction that movie was going. I do kind of agree with you about the morphing. Like, but I like the way that was explained because I felt like that Power Ranger movie developed those 5 characters way in less than 2 hours than a whole season of Power Rangers does in like 60 episodes. So like, you know, to me, like just in terms of storytelling, it's so much better.
I did like the 2017 movie. I think what I liked about it wasn't more so the movie itself, but I think just the community when it came out. Like everybody had something to grasp onto, even though some of the scenes may have felt a little flat. I think that them trying to make it relevant again was fun.
Hey, so we do have another super chat from Thomas DeCoste. He says, "Do you actually know about the 30th anniversary?" The answer is yes. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it. That was awesome. But you guys are amazing. We got some more questions in here, and Josh chimes in. He says, "The 2017 movie, I like it. Definitely not enough with it's going fast, guys. Definitely not enough with the Zords. Though I was really, really disappointed we didn't see the Transformers and the Megas.
But it's fine because I don't think they even got the mechanics for the transforming down either, because it was one of those pop out plug in to the next one like the Lego piece one. So I don't think they had the mechanics for it down. That's why they didn't do it.
I mean, look, all I'm saying is for the mech work, go ahead, since you are Hasbro, just step over to studios and say, hey, Transformers guys, can you guys design something for us?
You got some free time. You got some free time. Can you do this one too?
I can do that. Just, if you got nothing else to do
here's
today.
Point A to point B. Can you make that going? Or
really quick. I mean, hey, you guys are making what clearly is like horrible racist Transformers. You can make this.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Towards the end of the Transformers, like before Bumblebee, they started getting lazy and they did the whole phase shifting thing. Like, oh, bro, here you go. But yeah, they could send it over to there. I bet you they got plenty of time.
I think that anybody that does want to know more about a little bit about the tone of what the movie can be, I would say maybe check out a little bit of Titans, but not that dark. I don't think it'll be that dark. But also, one thing that people should check out though is or not check out, but kind of keep an eye on, is to see how Snake Eyes GI Joe Origins kind of performs and see what the marketing push for that is, because GI Joe, for for as big as it is, I think it's a great starting point for Hasbro, but at the same, because Henry Golding's he's an A-list actor. But I think it'll be a good gauge to kind of see how the property's treated, since it's been out of the spotlight for such a long amount of time, to see how the property's kind of treated and to see kind of like what Paramount does with it. Because I think that'll set the tone to understand how they can gauge what they want to do for Power Rangers, at least cinematically, marketing-wise.
I mean, that makes sense. That's probably one of the best things to do. Gives you that idea of what's happening and what's going on. I'm excited for that Snake Eyes. So,
are you scared for the future of Power Rangers? Says Noah Cummings. Jezzer, are you scared for the future of Power Rangers?
No. I am scared for the reception from the fans. I think.
Oh,
yes.
Good answer.
Yes, I'm scared for the. I feel like I'm going to be very disappointed in the fans going forward. And I'm just anticipating their reaction, and just how they react to certain things. I am going to be really disappointed in the fans going forward.
I mean, that's my answer too, and it's not a new answer. If you're new to Power Rangers, it may shock you, but if you're not, then it's what most likely you'll say as well. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's always the worry of what the Power Ranger fans will like this time versus how many things they won't. Like I said, we talked about 2017 movie.
Yeah.
I mean, but Heirloom did have a point. Like, it did take too long for them to do what they're known for, which is morph. So, I mean, it's like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Think about it. So, I mean, as long as it's taken care of and it's handled with care, I think the fans will be happy for it. But there will always be fans that are going to complain. They're just like Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I think if they're going to do the Power Ranger film, I want them to be they're already established, like Spider-Man, because if you had, like, say, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and it was like, oh, Uncle Ben, you're like, great, we know exactly what's happened. So it'd be something like 5 years after they got the powers, they're still the number one team type thing, and always established. And then I think that would work kind of a lot better. And as for the fans, I reckon Hasbro is going to be changing their emails quite a bit, because I know that they're going to get the "How dare you take out the Power Ranger Super Sentai!"
Yeah.
All right. Another question I have. This is a question I have for you guys. This isn't from the chat. It's just from me personally. Do you think that if Power Rangers, if whatever they do with the new movie, would you want them to be going forward with Jason, Zach, Tommy, Billy, Kimberly, and Trini? Or do you want them to create completely new characters to get invested into?
I think that it will be smart for them just to widen the audience by sticking with the original names, because then they'd bring in, like, some of the nostalgia fans that haven't kept up with Power Rangers, but still bring them in, and then maybe with production or whatever they do with it, they'll attract new younger fans. Because I have a lot of coworkers that their kids right now are watching MMPR and they're loving it. So I think that it's like brand recognition. Like, are you gonna make a Transformers movie, in 2007 and not have Optimus Prime in it? Like, you're bringing in new fans, and you're bringing in some of the old nostalgic fans. So I think that's just, from a business standpoint, it makes more sense than anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it does make more sense than anything. Let's go back to the chat real quick, because look, I think that there's going to be. I'm happy with the direction Power Rangers is going. I couldn't agree more. I think the franchise is going to be fine, but it's going to be those longtime fans that are going to be up in arms about a lot of things. Dude, it's so crazy how the Twitter world and the Tokusatsu fan base just kind of goes hand in hand, right? Like, I didn't even know about this whole Super Sentai, like, toy thing until Heirloom told me over, like, Teams. Like, I was like, what happened? Like, it was crazy.
I understand what they were doing, but then Toei hasn't kind of filled it. Now, I can understand if Toei turned around and went, right, these sites go down, do this. But we're now bringing our own streaming service, or we can release our own subs, or even if they teamed up with Crunchyroll or whoever and said, hey, you get these episodes still, but like an hour after they air in Japan, all fully subbed or something, or even a couple of hours later, it would work better. But from what Toei does, it's more like, I'm taking my toys home, see you later, and you never see them ever again. And I'm just like, you have such a big thing. 'Cause everyone turned around and went, hey, I would pay for this. I would give you my hard-earned money so I could continue watching all the past seasons or stuff. What he's just done now is made them either hate Toei completely or make people not forget it. And I think it will reflect in sales for like next year if all the fan subs and stuff just stop doing. Like Toei will be like, well, hang on, why haven't we got that much money? Like, well, we did take away like pretty much the rest of the world, but as long as we keep it in Japan, it's absolutely fine.
Wow, that's crazy.
There's ways.
Wait.
There's ways. I'll find ways to. But I
Oh, yeah.
won't announce it.
Do you think though that there's going to be an alternative? Or do you think there's a deal that's being worked out for an American distributor, or that's why they took it off? Or do you think it's just kind of like, hey, like you said, we're going to take our toys and go home?
I think it'd be Toys Go Home because Hasbro own the rights to this distribution of Super Sentai, because apparently they had a deal with Shout, or Saban did, and then as soon as that Hasbro went, nope, like shut this down. Like even Shout were like, we would continue, but we don't have the rights. And I think that if you saw the sales of how many people, I mean, that was just in America as well. So if you opened it worldwide, like brought it over here with Manga UK to distribute as well, then you would have like more people buying it. I would buy previous Sentai seasons, but I just don't want to have to buy stuff from America and then have to find a way to crack that DVD so I can actually watch it without having to spend hours like burning it to the computer, then to delete it later. So I think that if you open up to everyone and do it worldwide, you would make more money.
It's true. I mean, just once again, distribution itself just makes a hand over fist when it comes to money. But the thing is, it's like, with this whole thing of Hasbro pretty much creating a blockade, when doing so, when it comes to the U.S., it's like, do they have plans? I'm hoping they have plans, because if not, it's the dumbest thing to do, to just always block any kind of building of that. It makes no sense.
Doesn't.
Are any of you guys caught up on the Power Ranger comics?
No, not yet.
Almost.
No, I am about an issue behind on everything.
I'm an issue behind too. What do you guys think about the direction the comics are going? What do you like? Because we haven't really talked about Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers really. We haven't really talked about the comics at all. So what's your guys' take on this?
I like
Rangers
the
in
introduction.
space is great.
I like the introduction of what's that guy's name as the new Green Ranger. I thought that was
Matt.
pretty cool. Matt, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool that there's another entity that's kind of like working behind the scenes. Kind of going against what Zordon wants and trying to do what's best for the people. And I think that's pretty cool. Like he's not really Zordon's Power Ranger. He's the Angel Grove's Power Ranger. Like I like that. I like that introduction of that character. I kind of enjoyed the backstories behind like Zordon and all that, but I really want them to like move forward to different Ranger groups, especially if we're not going to be getting new seasons or new teams going forward. If we're just going to be going MMPR with TV shows and stuff, it'd be nice for the comics to fill that void.
I do not want them to move forward. I want them to stay in the story right now, because hopefully we will get what Heirloom has been waiting for, which is the Ranger Civil War.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be Rangers versus Zordon, and who's on Zordon's side and who's on the other side. And that's what I'm thinking, I am hoping we get up to, because Zordon is getting too high up on himself right now. And he's doing the whole thing of, you listen to me or you are not a Ranger, or you listen to me or you do nothing at all. And I'm like, whoa, Zordon, that's not the Zordon we know. And we're seeing through the flashbacks, we're seeing the cracks in the armor of what we understood Zordon to be. And that's why I'm hoping we get that moment where it's just, Zordon is not a villain, but he's just like, I know how things are supposed to run. And you listen to me or you don't. And the Mega Rangers are going to be like, but you don't know everything. You've been stuck here for so long. You don't understand what's happening out in the universe. You only know what's happening here in the world. And that's where it's going to be those ideals coming together. That's what I hope but we'll see.
How about you, Heirloom?
I like the comics. I don't like Zordon's past thing. It just irritates me for some strange reason.
Why?
I like
I want to hit the. Why don't you like Zordon's past? I'm very curious.
I think I just find it boring. Like I'm reading about the Power Rangers. I don't want to know about how Zordon became this entire this warrior, because we know exactly what's going to happen. It's like he'll get trapped, he'll go into the thing, and it's building up. So you'll have this amazing fighter, and then he gets stuck in a time warp by Rita, and that will be it. It'll be like, oh, so you've trained, you've shown us this massive battle thing you're going through, and you got tricked into walking into a door. Well done. But I just that's how I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be something like it. Or like Zordon will think he's won and he'll turn his back and be like, evil is finally defeated, and Rita's like, nope, Pokeball, go. And then it'll hit him. He'll then get transported in, and I'm gonna be like, great. But I like the fact, isn't Zordon evil in this one? Because it's a different Zordon.
He's
I'm
he's a
sure
little
in
bit
the
more cocky or something.
Yeah.
because I think in the previous comics he it was the emissaries. They turned around and said, "Oh, we're now going to get rid of you," and then another Zordon took his place. I'm thinking maybe this Zordon's a bit of a dick more compared to the others, and that's the reason why he's like it. He hasn't grown with the others, but Omega Rangers are good. I like that, but I would like them to move on to other Rangers. Like you've seen Astromina and you've seen her backstory. I want to see more of like, oh, here comes like the Super Mega Force Rangers, how they're going to do it, or here's the Mystic Force, and then just interact with them a bit more rather than sticking with Mighty Morphing, or create a subgenre and say, right, we're moving into this comic book like we've got the Phantom Ranger. I want to see that's what I want to see in the comic books
Oh,
next.
speaking on that, Joe, did you catch the last bit of Fan First Friday last week?
Yeah, I did see the gun.
Yeah.
I did see the
So-
gun. The Phantom Ranger is my favorite Ranger.
Do you have that
But
gun?
I don't have the gun. I was see that there's a shelf behind me back here. I was thinking about putting the helmet back there.
Maybe
Nice.
I'll print you out the gun.
Print me out the
Like
gun.
the sword.
But I was gonna say, like, I like the direction of the comics. That sword is amazing. So Jezer showed me that as it was being made, and it did not look like a sword when it first started out. I will say that. But now, like the detail that's in that sucker, that thing is badass.
Yeah, it's like looking at it like first, like up close. It looks beautiful. Like it kind of reminds me of the scene where Mike throws it up into the air when he first morphs. I was like, oh man, I want to throw it into the air so badly, but it's beautiful.
So with the comics, though, I like the direction both things are going. I do have some criticisms, but I also I think most of it is very good. But in terms of the criticism, in Mighty Morphin, I like that we finally get Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, and I like that it gives them more personality, 1,000%. But they're essentially getting beat up by putties ever since this whole thing started. This is really, I feel like this whole thing is really about Zordon. And like Heirloom, if you're not invested into Zordon, you're not really invested into this story. Now, onto the Power Rangers side, which is the Jason, Zach, Trini, and Omega Rangers. I really like that story a lot. The thing is, I felt like there was a Boom Studios or Hasbro mandate that said, damn it, we have to use that Draken again. He's our most popular character.
He's our gold. He's gold.
And same thing with Mighty Morphin, or with Mighty Morphin. It almost felt like, well, our sales were the highest when we had a Green Ranger. We need a Green Ranger in there. Let's get a Green Ranger in there. Let's make Matt the Green Ranger. Or no, spoilers alert. Let's make somebody the Green Ranger. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of both going on with that. However, I think they're handling the stories really well. It's just in Power Rangers, it's interesting because like I personally think that with Draken being on the team, it kind of nerfs him a little bit from being like this Thanos level villain, right? But at the same time, I don't really feel like that story's going. I don't know where it's going because they've just fought space vampires essentially. And so maybe it's building toward. Obviously, it's building towards something else. I'm along for the ride. It's only so often I can see like Draken kind of play this game of like, oh, can you trust me? Maybe you can trust me. You can trust me. You can trust me. Like I'm
Loki. It
is Loki.
Other than the comics are really good. I love the Astronema thing. I thought that was brilliant, and like I like world building. So I had this idea. If Hasbro just bought out the rights to use whatever Sentais they haven't used to adapt, maybe they can make those as like comics. And if they do successfully, they can turn those into an animated or like, whatever they want to do with it. So there's definitely ways they can build out their story. But speaking of that Civil War, I think it's a good idea, but I feel like we kind of already had those Rangers all fight together. I don't think we need that until way later on down the line, till a lot of these other teams are established.
I think we should do more new Draken stories,
No. It'd be like
A bunch
Lightning
of what
Collection. It'd be like Lightning Collection Draken 38, and it'd be like, oh, it's just like Iron Man with the different suits. What?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite interesting what you said, like having like different Rangers, because they just recently had Bioman in the comic books with Astronomer killing them all. And I kind of like that idea. Like, I would love to see other Rangers. Like, I would love to see, like, because the Omega Rangers are going around the universe, that they meet other teams and be like, oh, who are you? Who's Zordon? And be like, well, he's a grumpy old man that lives in a tube and he doesn't like change. He shouts.
So
at you.
he's the Power
And I
Ranger
just love
fandom.
him. Yeah, pretty much. You nailed it.
Oh, wow. Send your hate mail to
Jezzer, yeah.
Jezzer.
Keep it coming. I love it. I love the fuel. I love it. Man.
Oh.
He's not kidding though. He really does love your guys'
Yeah.
hate. Believe. Just check out his Twitter account when you get a chance.
Frank Barry says, "Are you still with that hashtag show, Joe?"
No. No.
Frank,
It's like a year and a
Frank,
half
where have you been, bro?
No, I'm not, Frank. Thank you for following us here. Matter of fact, just to let you guys know that don't know this, because I've never really talked about this publicly, and I'm not allowed to say a ton of stuff. These other two guys can. I'm just not allowed to.
Can?
A lot of you guys,
Oh,
you guys are.
Yeah,
you,
we have no. Yeah, there's no
guys have
restrictions.
no contract. You guys have no contract with
Nope.
with how that sorted out. You guys can say
It's
whatever.
over now.
I can't for the next, I think, year and a half.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We gotta have a party.
But anyway, yeah, a lot of us left. Matter of fact, I don't want to say the most important of us all left together and came over here and formed the Illuminerdi and picked up some stragglers, some amazing stragglers along the way, like Heirloom.
He's a straggler.
I don't mind.
No, we picked up a lot of good talent along the way that we wanted to focus in on, and our hands were a little cuffed over where we were before, and so that's that. But we're all here now at the Illuminerdi. We have shows throughout the whole week. Matter of fact, right after us, you can check out Retro Ranger Wrap Up with L, Josh, Blackwing, and Corey. That's right. And then later on after that, Jamie and Josh, if you're a Star Trek fan, and I know that we have Star Trek fans in here because I see you guys like Donnie Pearson every single week in there. But Jamie and Josh are going to be talking about Star Trek. And then tomorrow, if you're a Super Sentai fan, we got a show for you. We also have It's All Connected. We have a ton of shows. Just check them out.
Yeah, man.
We also got a super chat here from Thomas
Can't wait for
DeCoste.
this one.
When will we hear more about the 30th anniversary? Good question, Thomas. I don't know the exact date of when we're going to learn more about the 30th anniversary. Like we said earlier, and I'm giving them a real answer here. Like we said earlier, there's things that are in early development, and the only reason I honestly don't want to announce or even put that information out there right now is because it's just a little too early. But if if everything that I know ends up playing out, it's gonna be pretty cool for the 30th anniversary. I can say that. When we'll get that announcement, I'll tell you the truth. When we'll probably get an announcement about the 30th anniversary, probably in 2022 at some point. Mainly because that'll be the year before.
Mm-hmm.
It's my guess. My
a
best
Power Rangers
guess.
documentary sounds good to me. How would a Power Rangers documentary work?
So I actually was thinking about doing. So I think I told you this, Jezzer, that I wanted to do. Or no, I told Daniel this.
Yep.
That I wanted to do these small Power Ranger documentaries and get cast and crew involved, but in these big Power Ranger stories. For example, like Tommy taking over as the White Ranger. Let's talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff of how that all happened. Let's break down about how he was going to get his own show with VR Troopers, how that didn't come to pass. About Brad Hawkins, always almost becoming a Ranger. There's a bit like anybody that's watched Dark Side of the Ring, like the Vice documentaries about wrestling. I almost wanted to do that with Power Rangers because there's also one with how David Yost left the show. How Jason or how Austin, Twee, and Walter left the show. There's definitely these inside stories in Power Rangers that fans don't know that I think You know, they should know. As a matter of fact, I know I'm talking about the big ones that all you guys that are tuning into this show already know. But there's a ton of stories that we know just by talking to other cast members that
I
you
think
guys
I have
no
audio
idea.
from one of them. Let me see. I'm not gonna play it.
Oh boy.
Oh no, that automatically doesn't sound good.
But in all honesty, how cool would it be to see some of these stories? Like another one too is kind of like how some of these actors, to tell you the truth, all of these actors should be making residuals and royalties on this franchise. Yep. So like that, there's something to be said about all of these. So I honestly think maybe that's our next venture, guys. These little pockets of Power Rangers documentaries that we put together, because I think that if we did these micro Power Ranger documentaries, they could do extremely well. Believe me, man.
The only problem is people wanting to really be the people behind it, like actually talk about these things. Because I know some of them, it used to be the whole thing of, oh, I can only talk so much. Saban is listening here. He may kill me in my sleep or something. But now it's like, now with that whole Saban separation, does that free them up to actually talk about it? Or now is it, oh, Hasbro will get me, so I can't?
Like, I don't know. I mean, Chance is saying whatever he wants right now, right?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I think that that's a little bit of there's two things going on with Chance. You got to think about this with Power Rangers. When Hasbro took over, I felt like there was a little bit of a disconnect with how PR and stuff like that's handled. Mainly, like, you think about the Power Rangers cast announcement has always kind of Power MorphCon. We've known this ever since Megaforce, essentially. Ever since Megaforce, we've always been getting new cast announcements of Power MorphCon, except the 1 year that there was a cast announcement from us. You think about that for a hot second and let that sink in. That has never really happened with the way the Power Rangers has done things, right? So this is obviously a new ground for Hasbro to cover. And I think that there was a bit of a disconnect in the beginning, and that's possibly why. Hold on. Tomorrow.
What? Oh, he's got a date tomorrow.
No,
he's keeping everybody on the edge of their seats. Like, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna say?
No.
No, right?
For a lot of us that live in Los Angeles, I invited you guys over. I'm having people over tomorrow. Erlem, if you lived out here, you'd be more than welcome to come. But it's for tomorrow. I told somebody Saturday, and I meant
they're at your door. Hey, let me in. I want food.
Yeah. So that was Tatiana. She was like, "Hey, like, what time today?" I was like, everybody's coming over tomorrow."
Tomorrow.
So you're saying that the whole COVID thing had made it so, like, the announcement, the PR, the way that they handle PR was different.
Yeah, but also I think that the one thing the Power Rangers doesn't really realize is that that they can almost create their own buzz for the show, and I think they're doing a pretty decent job with these Fan First Fridays, because I think that I like it, at least that we're getting Power Ranger news, because I felt like we get pockets of Power Ranger news with Saban, but not like how we're getting with Hasbro. But I also think that the fans, look, let's be honest, guys. Power Rangers isn't Marvel. Like, if some of these secrets get out, I think it's not going to do anything except grow the anticipation for whatever it's going to be. The only downside about that is if Hasbro can't pay it off, that's going to be a huge letdown. Yeah. But other than that, like, you can create their own buzz. Marvel doesn't need that. They want to keep things secret, because if something actually gets out, it's a fairly large spoiler. By the way, next week we have a ton of Marvel news dropping on the Illuminerdi.com. Check us out over at the Illuminerdi.com.
Bravo.
Segue.
What? That's called segue, folks. But no, we have, with Power Rangers, to create that buzz. I think that with a lot of us fans, that's kind of what we love is that Power Ranger buzz that's going on. And I think that that's how Power Rangers stays in the kind of like in the spotlight.
So refresh my memory. Around what time do we get an announcement for the next adaptation? Do you guys remember? Like, is it still before? Is it still during the first season, or is it towards the end of it? When do we get that the next adaptation news? Do you guys remember?
It would.
Man, I want to say that we usually get that news. Let me think. Because we said it was going to be Dino Fury. It's usually around Toy Fair. It's usually that they because they had the last announcement. We had said it was going to be we said it was going to be Ryu Soldier, and it ended up getting confirmed at Toy Fair. So we can assume that Toy Fair usually is when we'll get a teaser to whatever that next season is.
Was that first season though, or second season of Beast Morphers?
Second
Second.
season. It's normally the second season because they announced it roughly around about February last year, something like that.
So we still got to wait till February next year for an announcement. I know that I saw Jordan post a picture that they're done filming. So I guess they're done filming. So that means the cast is coming home, which is weird. It's like, oh, we're barely halfway through the first season. They're already done filming the second season. So that work schedule must be like crazy. Must be crazy.
Well, I mean, they went out there last year?
I think
Like
yeah.
It was probably around last
Yeah,
August,
like
right?
last September or something.
So are they done shooting season 1 or are they done,
They're done shooting season 2.
Done 2.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So they breezed through that like crazy amount. I don't know.
Well, here's the interesting thing too. Then, if and I don't know have we had an announcement how many episodes season 2 is?
I'm assuming 22.
Not yet, but it'd be
Because
22
if it is going to
Nickelodeon.
Netflix historically has lower season counts. So I'm just curious to see if they would lower the seasons or if they would keep it as the Power Ranger seasons as is. That's all. I have no idea what that contract is. If what's going on there.
That is true.
It'd be cool if they did.
Crazy. I feel like we talk about more of like the behind the scenes of like Power Rangers than we actually do the actual show. It's so crazy. All right, so let's get back to some of these questions. I know that we should wrap up pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Look, we have any
Is
questions?
Joe opening the book?
we talked about it enough. Hey man, this was that one opportunity that if people wanted to super chat in, I was gonna let people know what the fuck was happening. But it's all good. just wait for us to report it. But like all the stuff that I would be talking about is very preliminary. Like, we obviously know what was happening with the movie as of last year. We kind of knew what was happening with the franchise as of last year. It's the 30th anniversary thing that I just recently found out about. I don't know, like a month ago. So we're starting to understand what the plan is, and I think I'll put it to you like this: everything that Hasbro's releasing, it's making sense for the 30th anniversary. We'll just say that.
Toys, and then we got Power Morphicon next month. I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun Power Ranger time. I think. Fun time.
Power Morphicon's already next month.
Is it?
I think,
Damn.
You mean like digital Morphicon, right? Not like Morphicon.
Yeah,
No.
digital Morphicon. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean.
Hey, do you think we'll be moderating any panels?
Are we, Joe?
I think so.
I was like, Joe.
I think other channels have announced that they're hosting panels. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been in talks. We're hosting some
We'll
panels.
We'll see how it goes. Digital.
And if we're not, hey, on June whatever, you can check us out right here, hosting our own Power Ranger panel.
That's true. That's true. I think.
With the cast of Dino.
You know what? Though, look, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. So, I don't. How much of this? I don't know if fans know any of this, but this is a fun little story that I think I'll end the show with today. So, when we did the viewing globe last year, Daniel and Josh were with me every single day editing it. And prior to that, I mean, Jezer and the whole team pretty much knew. Heirloom was with me every step of the way too, because we kind of conceptualized the idea together. And Heirloom knows a lot about this also. So mind you, we were throwing this convention kind of the last minute, made this announcement on August 26th, right? That was Power Ranger Day. Mind you, Hasbro didn't really even announce anything for Power Ranger Day. Our announcement was like the announcement, right? So we also ended up getting the Beast Morphers cast. And I'm sure, I don't know. Well, we could tell this story now, right?
Yeah, we can now.
So we ended up getting the full Beast Morphers cast, right? And like the whole team. And this is, mind you, the finale hasn't aired at this point yet. This is going to be the first time
who was supposed to moderate it? Do you remember?
Well, I'll get there in a second. So the whole team, we weren't just going to have the whole team. We were also going to have Christina on it and Cosmo on it too. We're going to have everybody. And then and it was all put together and it was going to be moderated by Power Rangers Now. Michael was going to come back and do this panel. We got everybody on board. And to all of the Beast Morphers cast credit, they all said yes. They all absolutely loved the idea. They were really excited about it. So, none of us held or hold any elbow towards them because they are phenomenal people and they're amazing. They totally would have done it. And then last minute, Heirloom knows this. Last minute, I think I'm in a group chat with all of them, and it was Jazz. It was like, hey, Hasbro just reached out to us and told us we can't do this. We're not allowed to make this appearance. And we were like, dude, are you kidding me? So obviously they wanted to, but it was obviously stopped by Hasbro. But man, we had so many crazy things planned for that first viewing.
Which is weird. They gave us Campbell, but they didn't want to give us them. That's weird.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. But I'm telling you guys, I still want to do Viewing Globe too because there's so many cool ideas we were kicking around for it. And I don't think anybody in terms of like digital conventions and stuff with Power Rangers at least, I don't think anybody really could have beaten us.
For Viewing Club too, I kind of want to make it a hybrid one where like we rent out a space like a movie theater or something, and we have the panels there with the actual cast there, but it all being live streamed.
That's a great idea, Jesse.
Oh damn it! Someone's gonna take it now.
Damn it, Jesse.
I think we're gonna Viewing Globe 2 though. We should get the boys back together and talk about Viewing Globe 2 soon.
Damn right, yes. Let's do it. It's like the second album.
The second album.
No strings attached.
Right. But no, we had some pretty cool ideas. I think we should probably wrap this.
All right, so thank you guys so much for.
Oh, we got though.
Oh yeah, thank you to Rubenil1234 for the super chat. No question, but thank you for that. You guys, thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday. We really appreciate it. Those are fun conversations. I know a lot of you. I know a lot of you love hearing us talk about Power Rangers and the inside baseball part of it. So if you guys want more of that, just let us know.
Let me chime in real quick too.
Yeah.
And also, we want Power Rangers. We want to be a voice for Power Rangers. Obviously, we break Power Ranger news, and we're not. We want to do this for the community, and we want to make sure that all you guys are tuning in and get your fellow Ranger Nation members to join us every Saturday right here at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to talk about Power Rangers. This is going to be our destination. And look, there's a ton of great people doing it. Heirloom also has his own Power Ranger channel. He has his own Power Ranger talk. Talk about it, Heirloom.
Are we getting another video?
You're getting 3.
Yeah.
3 videos.
You should be Mr. No Days Off.
Mr. No Days Off. Heirloom will be doing Power Ranger videos. And let us know because we'll retweet those out on our Twitter account. Make sure that we get some Power Ranger love. And if you guys have Power Ranger content too, keep it up.
Tweet at us, and then we'll retweet it. Get it sharing across the globe. Because what a lot of people don't know is especially outside of the Power Ranger community, there's a lot of Power Ranger fans in the industry. I know there's a whole bunch of them over at comicbook.com. There's a ton, and let's spread the love. Let's spread the Ranger love.
Unless we make just one giant Power Ranger army and get all the Ranger influencers and just do different types of Ranger shows all the time. How many crazy? That's what we're kind of doing already, guys.
Yeah. All right. Let's go down the list. Heirloom, where can we find you on social media? And any teases to any new projects?
YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch is Heirloom. Mainstream Live on Twitter, and the projects are coming up is why Disney don't want to buy back Power Rangers.
Ooh.
That's one of them coming up, and just like 1 or 2 other ones. So can't wait to see people go, that's so fake.
Yep.
It's like
we already have Voltron. We have Voltron already.
We don't need nothing like Voltron. We don't.
Daniel, how about you?
Me, you can check me out on some podcasts. I have a podcast called That's Life. That's on the Rat House Network. They kind of contribute or connect with the Illuminerdi, but you can find me there. I also produce a podcast called the Astonishing X Show, which has Tony, Brandon, and every once in a while Joe, if we can find him for that podcast. They're discussing X-Men in all its forms, as far as media-wise, but not in print. So that means all the films, all the shows. They're currently on the X-Men animated 90s show, and it's going pretty well,
I can't
man.
wait for
They
Evolution.
just did They just did Time Fugitive. The Cable and Bishop episode. Oh
Wolverine,
boy,
big player in that
so
one.
good,
Wolverine.
man. I mean, hey, great harmonica
Yeah.
playing in that episode. So check them out, and that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Joe?
You can find me on all social media at Joe Luminerdi. I post my interviews, my celebrity interviews. No, I'm just kidding. I can post interviews. I literally don't. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't want to post them all, but I get heat from studios if I don't.
Yeah.
So now I kind of feel like this obligation where I'm like, oh, look, I kind of have to now. So go over there and support those, so the studios know I'm doing my job. And then also, you can find me right here every Saturday doing the Ranger wrap up with these fine gentlemen, and I'm gonna start making guest appearances back on the show I originated. That's right. The Illuminerdi Wrestling Order.
Someone's playing two sides,
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm also going to be doing some of the X Cast again. And me and Jez have been trying to work on other podcast ideas. And there's a movie show that's going to be coming up very soon, too.
Nice.
So there's a lot going on right now. It is fun. And also, if any of you guys want to be contributors for the Illuminerdi, we're looking for community leaders. We're looking for writers. We're looking for people to be on shows just like us. So if you want to join the team, all you got to do is email, I think it's media at the Illuminerdi.com.
Yeah.
That is media at the Illuminerdi.com. And I'm pretty sure that's email. Right?
You can find me on all social media at Jezzezus. I might be doing a It Takes Two game stream tomorrow at 6. So if you guys want to come hang out.
Oh.
Yeah. It Takes Two. Yeah, so.
It's going to happen.
Yep. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys.
Wait, last thing before we go. That 30th anniversary, I was going to say it right here. Just expect, I'm just kidding, guys. If you want that, you can chat the next show.
You're an asshole.
And,
Such an ass.
All right, peace.